Let's jump to the cards.
So next chapter, let's jump into the cards.
I take the first one. Look,
Go ahead.
this
So
beautiful.
should we explain beforehand a little bit how this works?
Good
Because
point.
maybe not all the audience, the million people that is watching us, knows what's about.
Billions, you know, like let's hope. But yeah, no. So we have your cards.
Okay.
We have
the
it.
Confessions of a Seller card here.
We have it divided by categories.
Okay.
And then each category has one question, and it's yes or no question, and then just giving an answer.
Okay.
Why?
Awesome.
Okay.
Let's go.
So, wow, this is your handwriting, Alan, again. AI in sales category. Build your own stack or buy all-in-one tools.
Oh, that's a good one. I should answer yes or no or one or the other, right?
Well, yeah, yes and no is a bit difficult, but
it's like one or the other.
Yeah,
it's not a depends.
Own stack or buy all-in-one tools.
Okay, so make me the question again.
Okay, build your own stack or buy all-in-one tools.
I would go with all-in-one tools.
Yeah, why?
Because that's where what we are seeing the trend is going.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's not the best decision as of now, meaning that having a tool that will search for you, the prospects, filter them, enrich them, giving the valid data, then making sure that you have sending multi-touch point, as you were talking about, multi-threading and multi-channel. And on top of that, AI. And on top of that, an inbox to reply and maybe using as a CRM.
Yeah.
Most likely when a company is focusing on all of that at the same time, some pieces fall short.
Yeah.
But I prefer that than fragmented silos.
Yeah.
Unless, so the answer is that, unless that you are in a stage where you don't need an all-in-one and you just need one or two parts of those all-in-ones where you can focus on engagement or focus on enrichment or focus on research plus engagement. And then you just use what is your MVP, let's say, in order to be successful. And then you move from there. But definitely that would be my answer.
2 points. Could you maybe explain quickly for our audience who is not working in sales many years, what is enrichment, right?
Great question.
Enriching the data. What really is behind that word?
Great question.
Yeah.
No, great question. I mean, enrichment is really a key component of every sales stage right now. But basically, when we are doing outreach, right now what we are seeing is not only the email, the quality of what do we say and who do we say it to, it's important that it is.
Yeah.
It's if we have the right information, meaning the email that is validated, verified, safe, and secure.
Yeah.
Same with the phone number, and that is not old, because everything will be impacting then the reply rates or your domain in terms of infrastructure, deliverability, and so on. So my answer is, enrichment, as you were saying, it's how well the data and how safe the data is when we get it from specific sources.
Got it. And the second point was, you said certain organization companies who maybe do not need an all-in-one solution. What kind of companies do you mean with that?
The ones that never ever, if you're talking about Outbound right now, never ever did Outbound before.
Okay.
I've seen 100%, this is 100% of the cases.
Yeah.
Companies reaching out to me saying, hey, Alan, I want to do Outbound. I want to buy A, B, C, D, E, F, G tools because that will make me millionaire and create a 1 billion pipeline. And it's like, okay, wait. Let's go into infrastructure. Let's go into why. Let's go into the education of your product. Let's go into market fit. Let's go to understand why you are doing this. There are so many things before buying tech stack. I don't get married to any tool.
Yeah.
I just need to understand if those tools are going to help me at this stage or not. Then if you're making X amount of money or revenue per month and you need to scale, awesome. Tools are tools that will help us. Like we were talking about Alta, for example, or we're talking about Reply as the main partner as well, that they are covering a lot of scenarios. Alta for the case of inbound leads, for example, speed to lead or time to lead or speed to velocity to lead, etc., where we know that, hey, this is my use case. Then I get this tool that will enhance that and will make my results better for sure.
Yeah, good point. Good point.
Awesome. Should I jump into the next card?
Take that next.
Awesome.
One.
Let me mix it a little bit and make it more spicy.
You made the card, so you know what is written there.
Okay, so we have here, this is about skills.
Okay.
So it says closing.
Uh-huh.
So the right to close the deals is earned during the discovery or during the demo?
Discovery.
You are confident about it. Why?
Because if you discover more at the beginning, during the first discovery call, you should be able to pinpoint the pains of the prospect during the discovery, which you then can use at a later stage in the demo presentation when you show your solution, why your solution can actually solve the pain points which you discovered deeply in the discovery questions.
I love it.
So it's all goes back to the discovery, right?
I love it.
If you ask like the basic questions, it's
not going to.
You don't get under the surface. You really need to dig deeper and find out what is the real pain. And if you can tailor those pain points, then in a later stage, during the demo presentation, best case scenario, right?
And that's where you're earning the closing.
Exactly. Absolutely. And then automatically your closing, it will be much better than, for example, your competitor who just asks the basic questions. What is your budget? Do you have a solution in place? Instead of really understanding, okay, like why, if you would like to solve like 3 biggest of your pain points, which one would you like to start first?
Exactly.
And then dig deeper, and then get an understanding and let them talk. Just let them talk about what they would love to solve.
100%. I agree. I never agree more in my life on something. But I have to tell you something, and this is something that I trained as well to all teams. Even more, and you as an expert can clarify it if needed. But basically what we are seeing is that in bigger deals and longer sales cycles like enterprise or mid-market, we have the false analysis or the false belief that, okay, we have the meeting booked because those are the names of the stages in the pipeline. There's meeting booked, discovery call done, demo, proposal sent, negotiation closed, whatever, right? The thing is that if you're selling an enterprise, as you were telling me in other episodes, it's like, hey, we need to involve procurement, legal, finance, the marketing guy, the champion, the user, MEDDPICC, whatever the strategy that you're using, I'm following. But then that doesn't happen in the same day.
No.
So maybe discovery longs or you start the discovery in day 1 and you are in day 90 or 120 after 4 months and you're still doing discovery.
Yeah.
Because everything is new. You are always discovering, and that's why you are going to close if you know more.
And imagine,
there's no way you do it in any other way.
Imagine day 75 of the sales cycle, suddenly your
something happened internally.
Your decision maker is fired, or your champion left the company,
whatever,
got sick. Like
you need to start all over again, right? It's not like but we had the discovery like 6 months ago, so here's the contract. That won't work. So you're always discovering, and the demo is just a consequence.
Exactly.
Of everything you understood that you will use against them, let's say at some point, or in favor of them, while positioning your solution towards you're closing that gap, right? You're breaching that gap of saying, hey, this is where you are, this is where you want to be. My solution could be helping you going towards that desired outcome because of A, B, C, D, and E that you talk.
And what you really should as well. What important point? What I actually learned, like I think last year, in my role is really like de-risking the deal as much as possible during the whole process.
Can you explain that in a sentence?
So
what do you mean, or what do you suggest, or how do you suggest de-risking should be?
Yeah. So first of all, how do you de-risk a deal? You have to understand the buyer and what is his interest in that. That's what I mean with de-risking, right? Because there are so many external factors in this in a sales process which you cannot control. Like, let's say if we implement a new solution and it doesn't work, is there a job safety related to it, right? Maybe they lose their job because they picked the wrong provider, and then they are scared to picking a provider.
Right.
So they prefer to stay with the current solution. And this is with de-risking. What I mean is getting an understanding what impact it could have for shareholder A, B, and C, and how can you make them feel more safe of making the right decision using you as a provider and guiding them in the decision-making process.
Correct.
Right? That's what I mean with de-risking. And
awesome.
It's really about understanding the prospects as good as possible. You never can understand everyone, but if you understand what is the most important factor for each of the individuals, then you can guide them through the buying process. That's something which specifically in the enterprise side, I learned now, or I'm learning still now, because it's a never-ending story.
Yeah. So de-risking, important.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead, man.
And next
Let's
one.
do the
Next
last
one.
two.
Okay. MEDDPICC is overused, yes or no? Methodology category.
Yes, I think it's overused.
Yeah. Why?
Because I would say, the answer would be the same for MEDDPICC or for whatever the other sales methodology out there. Because I think that either spin that I like a lot, gap selling that I like a lot, MEDDPICC that are more towards enterprise deals because of the amount of people that you need to involve. It doesn't work in a $20 deal for sure, or monthly revenue solution. I think that it's overused because the way we are trained and the way we are taught as a sellers is like, oh, okay, this is the methodology that we have. Could go from BANT to MEDDPICC and everything in between. And the problem that we have is that we are trained to ask the questions that the letters represents. So the economic buyer, the decision maker, the champion, the whatever it is, about the situation, the problem, the implication, the need payoff, or the gap selling, or the budget, authority, need, and timing. So it's important. Yeah, all of that is important. It's how we ask those questions. It's how we go through the discovery.
Yeah.
How we go through the demo, asking the questions, going back, stop sharing the screen, going back to sharing the screen, pinpointing and connecting that with a mirroring technique. We are going to talk about specific sales techniques in more episodes for sure. But it's like, is MEDDPICC or whatever the other methodology going to give me success? I don't think so. It's how we implement whatever the methodology that we define for each scenario and for each use case for sure. That's my 100% answer.
Good one. So our VP of enablement would not be that happy with your answer, but you cannot agree to anyone.
Absolutely.
But I see it similar. It's really about execution, right? So again, for me, for example, this frameworks is more about de-risking losing your deal, right? Having the different understanding about, okay, what is their internal process? Who are the person who gonna sign the agreement? Are they do we have access to them? Which competitors are involved, right? I think it can definitely help you with bigger deal sizes to de-risk it again and get you to those certain closing points. Yeah.